fellow collectors, and welcome to Long's Toys. Today we are taking a look at Awakening Optimus Primal from the Takara Tomy line for Transformers Beast Awakens. So in Japan, this line is called Beast Awakens. I believe the movie is also called Beast Awakens, even though we still have the Rise of the Beast logo up there on the top of the box. So this is a Takara Tomy exclusive. I do not believe that the US is getting any version of this guy. Hasbro does have him up on their website, but I believe you'll still get the Takara Tomy release. It's also on some other third-party sites, BBTS and the like. I got this one from Amazon Japan, and as a pre-order bonus, I got this translucent red little Cheetor called Burning Cheetah, which I'm pretty excited about. So he looks pretty cool. We'll take a look at him later on. But yeah, this guy is big. This is kind of like an old leader class figure. Not quite sure exactly how tall it is. I want to say maybe like 10 inches, something like that. We'll do some size comparisons later on in the video. But he's got a ton of features. You know, he's got the ability to have the mask on or the mask off. He's got a Mega Blaster. He's got plasma cannons. He's got these two cyber blades. So he's got a lot going on. Of course, he fully transforms from robot mode to beast mode. Just really, really looks cool. I'm really excited for this. Taking a look at this side, we just have some movie artwork of the beast mode. And then over here, we have the robot mode. Not really anything going on at the bottom, just your usual warnings and whatnot. And then again, we got some product shots of the robot mode and the beast mode, again, showing off the features, showing everything that's included, and then just completely loading him up with the other, like, battleizer, weaponizers, battle masters, whatever they're called, which is a lot of fun, so that's kind of neat. But yeah, I'm really excited for this guy. I think he looks pretty great. I'm going to go ahead, get him out of the packaging here, and we'll take a closer look. So here he is out of the packaging, and I have to say, I love this guy. This is a really, really cool toy. I like him a lot. He's got a ton of features. He looks fantastic, but let's start quick with some size comparisons just to get this out of the way. So here is the mainline Voyager class Optimus Prime. Here is another Voyager. We got Senator Shockwave here. And from that same pack, we have Deluxe Class Data Clerk Orion Pax. And then here is Armada Megatron. So you can see he's even taller than Armada Megatron. If I get all of these guys out of the way here, I can also show you Shattered Glass Grimlock. So I would say he's roughly the same size as, like, Shattered Glass Grimlock. So, like, an actual leader class figure, not like a Voyager with a trailer or something that we've been getting recently. But, like, a true leader class figure, I would say he's pretty much on par. He's actually even a little taller than Shattered Glass Grimlock here, but just by a tiny little bit. But yeah, he's definitely a nice size figure. So let me get all of this out of the way here. So head sculpt, I think, looks great, and he is really nicely painted. So if I get in close here, he does have green for the eyes. Nice silver face mask there. If you want to change the face, you actually just kind of tilt the head up and lift this section, kind of hold on to the ears here. This will flip up, and then, let me angle this up. You can spin this around 180. And then close it back down. And then now you have him with the mouth. So the face mask is off. And both faces look fantastic. I really like both of them. Really nice Maximal symbol here in silver. Some nice detailing. Some nice kind of gunmetal gray, kind of metallic paint throughout that looks really sharp. All kind of detailing around the shoulder pad here. So articulation-wise, the head can tilt pretty far back. Can't really tilt down all that much. Certainly moves side to side. Hindered a little bit by kind of the shoulder pads here, but you can pretty much get what you need out of it. You have a rotation here in the shoulder. You have a butterfly joint a little bit. I think that's mostly so that, like in gorilla mode, he can pound his chest, which you can definitely do. So you have a little bit of movement there for a butterfly joint. And then you have a hinge out to the side. Now that is hindered a little bit by the shoulder pad, but again, you can get pretty much what you need out of it. You have a swivel right above the elbow. You have, I would say, not quite 180, maybe like 160 degrees there in the elbow. Really nice elbow there. You have a wrist swivel. You have individual finger articulation. Well, are they all individual? No, I think it's just the pointer, and I think these three are connected. But you can see here that there's, joints. So you have this joint here, then there's a pin here. So you can bring these around and really kind of close that up as a nice tight fist, which just looks phenomenal. I love that so much. You have a waist swivel there. You have this kind of piece on the back here, but you can kind of bring this out so that you can get more motion out of the hips, and you can hear the nice ratchets. So you can kick about that far out, kick pretty far back, kick out to the side, which is nice. And again, you just kind of have to move this skirt piece out of the way a little bit. You have a thigh rotation right above the knee. Nice ratchets in the knee as well, and you can get pretty good range of motion there. That's really for the gorilla transformation, but over 90 degrees there in the knee. And then you have an ankle tilt, which is pretty far on that. These technically can flip up. This is really for the transformation, but if you wanted to do a little bit of toe articulation there, you could. You even have a little bit of gorilla foot articulation here in the back. So yeah, he's really cool. I like him. He's a great size. He looks fantastic. Really nice, solid articulation. And again, he's got a ton of features. So let's go ahead and start checking those out. Alright, so I already showed you how you can flip the mask around. He does have these two blasters down here in his abdomen. They're a little bit of a pain to get to, but basically you have to pull the chest plate forward and sit that down there. Then this whole back section will come back like this, and then you have to take these pieces right here and flip them up. So they'll kind of fold up into this section here, and that'll give you clearance, kind of get your finger in here, to pop out these shoulder cannons, which can be a little bit of a pain, but once you get it started, it's not too bad. So these will come back like this, and then you can close this back up and push this back closed. And now he's got the two shoulder cannons, which look pretty great. They do come with these flick fire missiles that you just pop in here. And they're just friction based, so you're just going to kind of push on this. They don't fire the best, I got to be honest, because they're just friction based. But I guess if you could really kind of push it as fast as you can, they fire decently. But even just to have him with them, I think is really cool. And I don't have the head pushed down all the way. Hold on. There we go. That's better. So I like them. Like I said, it's a little convoluted to get down in there to get them free, but they do look good. They're not too bad to get to. He's also got these wrist-mounted, I believe the box calls them plasma cannons, and there's a button here underneath. You can kind of see right there, and you just pop that up or push that in, and they pop up. They're spring-loaded, and they look great. And then you just push them back down. So they're very simple. Pop right up. He's got one on both arms. I think that's really cool. And then just, boom, push them right back down. Very simple. Those are very, very easy to utilize. So I like those quite a bit. He's also got his two swords. You can tab them together. You can see one has a tab on the one end, so you can push them together like that if you want. So he can hold these as a staff of sorts. You put this in like this, and then you just kind of push the hands. And it holds it very well. No problem whatsoever there. Which looks really cool. Or you can just have him hold one in each hand. Let me pop this hand open. And he looks great. I mean, they're painted so nicely. I love the orange. I think that really pops, especially against the gray and the black color scheme. He doesn't have a ton of color going on, but what he does really pops. Like the orange, the red here for the barrels, the green in the eyes, I think looks so good. just all in all, I love his accessories. I think he looks really cool. You can also mount these on the back. There's a little spot right here, and there are these tabs on the side. And so you can just go ahead and tab these onto the back for storage. And there's one on each side here. Which looks good. And you can do that in both robot and gorilla mode. The tabs are in the same place. They're accessible in both modes. And then we can give him some flick fire missiles. So, I mean, this guy is armed. He is ready to go. Let's see. Let's give him one sword. And then we'll give him one plasma cannon. So there you go. I mean, this guy is ready. He is ready for battle. He is not taking any prisoners. Very, very cool. I just love all the features that he has. Honestly, I think that's so cool and very reminiscent of the original toy from Beast Wars, which I really appreciate. It had those swords. It had the shoulder cannons. It had the... Well, to be fair, the original one, it kind of flicked open and the hand hung back, so I like the look of this much better. The only thing he's missing is that skull mace. I'm okay with it because on the show, he did have, you know, 2 of these back in the day, and I always wished the toy had that. And they're both spring-loaded and work great, so I'm fine without the skull mace. I guess they could have included it just as another accessory, but really what they should do is they should make one of these that turns into a skull mace, and that would be perfect, but... Yeah, this guy looks great. I love this a lot. This is really, really cool. So, I guess let's take a look quick at the burning cheetah. So before we get into Optimus's transformation real quick, I just wanted to take a look at the burning cheetah, because then we can have him wield it. But yeah, it's really, really cool. I like it a lot. It is a combination of red plastic and translucent red plastic. And it's just the exact same Cheetor mode that we saw here. And I think we're going to see again in a bundle pack with the new RC that they're doing. But yeah, it's really fun. I like it a lot. Nice translucent plastic. So basically transforms the same way. We are going to flip out the peg there. And then this whole section is going to rotate around. Like so. And then you're just going to kind of flip the legs back. Flip these forward. And then kind of tilt these feet so that it can rest naturally. I didn't really go over articulation in the cheetah mode, but it's basically got the ball joints on these paws, and then it's got the ball joints at the legs, and that's pretty much it. But there you go. There is your bladed weapon. And I think that just looks really cool. Again, love the translucent plastic. Very, very cool. So let's go ahead. Let's bring Optimus Primal back in. So I've got it pegged into his forearm here. This guy has tons of ports. There's some here on the side of the legs. He's got them here on the shoulder pads. He's got them here on the back. I mean, the packaging shows him loaded up with just all kinds of these weapons, and you can absolutely do that. They're just standard 5mm pegs, so any kind of weapons or accessories from any recent Transformer line, you could go ahead and load them up. But he's definitely got a bunch of ports all around, which is really, really cool. As far as him just kind of holding it, I think the way his hands are done, it's not really going to work out. Yeah, the hands just can't grasp something that small. So he definitely can't hold it, but he can absolutely peg it onto the forearm there. So very cool. And also you can just use it with any of your other kind of Beast Alliance figures that are kind of Battle Masters. So that's pretty cool. But let's go ahead. Let's get into this big guy's transformation. So as you might expect, it's not terribly difficult. And to put the cannons away, I purposely left them out because I wanted to show you how we have to put them away first. But we're going to pop the chest panel out again, and then we're going to flip this back. And then you kind of want to bring these down. Now they have this joint, but there's also a joint here. So it's kind of like a double joint. And you want to bring that down and push it down so that they lie flat like that. So bring this back down. And then you want to push these pieces back down. And then you can close this back up and push this back up. So that's how you put those away. So if you have them out, put those away first before we get into the transformation. So you're going to start here by just swiveling him at the waist 180 degrees. And then I like to just kind of bring this up out of the way just so you can kind of bring the legs down to where you want. You know, flip the ankle tilt back if you haven't already. I mean, you can utilize that for the monkey mode as well. Gorilla mode, whatever we're calling it. But I just wanted to push it back in for now. So the bulk of this is kind of taking care of this section in the center here. So we're going to unpeg this panel and we're going to bring this down. And then you want to kind of bring this down and swivel this. And it can be a little difficult for clearance, but you want to kind of bring this down like that. At this point, you want to go ahead and open these sections again. So pop this panel down, pop this down. Now you have to pull this section out. You can kind of see right here where the screw is. This whole section is going to come out. And then you want to kind of rotate this around. And this can be kind of interesting for clearance purposes, but rotate this around. The head is going to rotate back on this pin right here so that you can tuck this a little bit further back. And then you want to kind of just have the gorilla head hanging out. And then you want to push this back in and then close this back up and then rotate this 180 degrees and push this back in. That's pretty much the bulk of the transformation, honestly. The gorilla head, I think, looks phenomenal. Again, you have the green eyes, which look great. All of the sculpt work here for the gorilla head, I think, looks fantastic. You're going to just kind of bring the arms up. You want to push these panels down for the shoulder pads, push them down. Rotate the fists like so. Then you're going to just kind of lift this up. Bend these all the way in like I showed earlier to get him in that classic gorilla pose, and then kind of tuck these in and then just kind of bring this down. I don't know if it almost looks like it's supposed to snap into place in the directions, but I really don't think it does. I think it just, you can't see what I'm doing. I'm zoomed in too much. So I'm trying to make sure this is lined up properly. I think that's right. And then just kind of, for whatever reason, this one doesn't want to seem to tuck in as tight as the other one does. But again, it's not a big deal. This just kind of drops down like that. And then you kind of push this back up. And then just kind of situate the feet however you like. And bring this in. And very quickly, there is our gorilla mode. I mean, he transforms like most of the Optimus Primal toys from this line have transformed. But he does have that you know, butterfly joint so that he can kind of pound on his chest, which is pretty cool. And you can kind of stand him up a little bit if you want him to kind of stand up. He'll be pretty tall. The problem is you can't really get the head to face much more forward than that. The head can kind of look side to side, and you have a little bit of up and down. Mostly you can kind of turn like you have a quizzical look. But he can't really like 100% drop it all the way down to here. And I think it's mostly because of these pieces on the side. Actually, the joint might just not go that way. But yeah, he's definitely meant to kind of face forward like this. But he's very cool. I like him quite a bit. And we can go ahead and peg those swords in again. Like I said, the exact same spot. If you would like to do so. So you can peg those in there as well. But yeah, he's cool. He's a cool looking monkey. I mean, like I said, most of these toys don't do much in terms of transformation to the gorilla mode. The original toy didn't really as well. But it's convincing. I think it looks like a gorilla. And I think he looks pretty great. I guess I should go through articulation. It's really not much different than the robot mode. Like I said, you have the butterfly joints. You have the rotation. I mean, these are the complete same arms. So there's not really any difference there. You're not really going to utilize the waist swivel, but you can. You'd have to kind of lift this panel up. And again, it's the same legs. You can use the ankle tilt if you would like. And again, you have that weird little bit of the monkey toe articulation. Which way does this bend? I think it bends down. Yeah, so it bends down. So not a ton different in terms of articulation, but he still looks pretty great. This guy's pretty fantastic. Honestly, we'll have to wait and see how the Studio Series 1 measures up. but this might be like the definitive Rise of the Beast Optimus Primal for me. I love the color scheme. I love the articulation. I love all of the features that he has. I mean, this guy's just fantastic. The shoulder cannons, the swords, the arm wrist cannons, whatever you want to call them, the plasma cannons, I think they're officially called on the box. He just is absolutely fantastic. I love him. Transformations, not too intricate. The hardest part, honestly, is swapping the heads around in the chest. Once you get past that, it's pretty quick to convert them back and forth. One thing I will say I did forget to do in the gorilla mode, you want to just go ahead and pop these up like that, so that way you just have the gorilla feet down here, and this is kind of tucked up. Doesn't do much for it, but it is one little step that I missed, so I wanted to point that out real quick. But yeah, this guy's a ton of fun. Like I said, I got mine from Amazon Japan. I don't know if he's still for sale there. I definitely saw him on BBTS. Hasbro Pulse, I think, is sold out of the pre-orders for him. They went very quick, but I believe he is still available on BBTS if you're looking for him. Otherwise, check Amazon Japan. Might still be available there. He's a ton of fun. I like him quite a bit. Like I said, he's going to be pretty hard to beat. We'll have to see how the Studio Series one checks out when we get that one in, but this guy's definitely going to be pretty hard to beat. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as always, thanks so much for watching.